You know that moment when you're standing in front of your closet, staring at rows of hangers, and you just feel stuck? It's 5 minutes before you need to leave, and nothing feels right. You pick up that one sweater, the one you love, but then you put it back. You grab the structured blazer, even though it's a bit uncomfortable, and you think, okay, this'll work. It feels like a simple morning chore, right? Just getting dressed. But have you ever wondered why, on some days, you crave nothing but oversized hoodies and soft textures, while on others, you feel like you're playing a character, dressing for a version of yourself that's more confident, more professional, or maybe even more guarded? We often think of our clothes as a separate entity, just fabric to cover our skin. But what if I told you that those choices are actually the most honest reflection of your internal landscape? It's almost like your closet is a mirror, and every morning you're deciding which version of your identity to show the world. There's a fascinating concept in psychology called enclothed cognition. It sounds like something you'd need a degree to understand, but it's actually quite simple. Researchers have found that the symbolic meaning of our clothes doesn't just change how others see us, it literally changes how we think. Think of your clothing as a sort of psychological anchor. When you put on a specific outfit, you're not just changing your appearance, you're activating a set of associations in your brain. Take a doctor's white coat, for example. In one famous study, researchers found that when people wore a lab coat they believed belonged to a doctor, their ability to focus and pay attention actually improved. They became more precise, more careful. When they wore the exact same coat, but were told it belonged to a painter, that cognitive boost just vanished. Isn't that wild? You might be thinking, that's just a lab coat. But it's not just the fabric, it's the weight of what that fabric represents. When you wear something that feels professional, your brain subconsciously adopts the traits you associate with that role. You become a little more disciplined, a little more guarded, a little more on. But here's where it gets interesting for you. Have you ever noticed that you dress differently when you're feeling vulnerable? Maybe you've had a rough week, and suddenly you find yourself retreating into clothes that feel like a protective layer. The heavy knits, the neutral colors, the pieces that don't draw any attention. Maybe you aren't just being lazy or not caring about your style. Maybe your brain is just looking for a little extra safety. Think of your clothes as a kind of emotional armor. Just like a knight wouldn't go into battle without their shield, sometimes we reach for that specific, reliable hoodie because it feels like home. It feels safe. It grounds us when the world feels a little too loud or too demanding. And that is completely okay. Validation is so important here. We often put pressure on ourselves to dress for success or to keep up with trends, but your wardrobe isn't supposed to be a source of stress. It's a tool. It's a window into what your nervous system needs on any given day. Now, consider the opposite. Have you ever had a day where you decided to dress up? Maybe put on that bold color or that accessory you usually keep for special occasions, even though you were just going to the grocery store or working from home? You might have felt a sudden surge of energy, a little more spark in your step. That's because you were intentionally signaling to your brain that today you are capable, you are present, and you are ready. You were using your style to bypass your mood and jumpstart your motivation. But there's something most people don't realize about the messages we send through our style. We tend to think that when we dress in a certain way, we're sending one clear message. But human perception is a lot more complex than that. Sometimes the clothes we wear aren't just for the world. They're for ourselves, to keep a secret or to hold a memory. Perhaps you wear a piece of jewelry that belonged to someone you love. It doesn't matter if no one else notices it. For you, it's an anchor. It's a reminder of a feeling, a place, or a person that helps you navigate the stress of the day. That's a deep, beautiful way to use your style to maintain a sense of self when life gets chaotic. But here is where the plot thickens. What happens when we feel like we have to change our style to fit in? Maybe you've started a new job or moved to a new city, and you feel this internal pressure to look the part. You might feel like you're putting on a mask. Behavioral psychology suggests that this imposter feeling is incredibly common. We shift our style to belong, hoping that if we look like the people around us, we'll finally feel like we belong. But have you ever noticed that even when you do dress the part, that nagging feeling of not quite being yourself stays? It's like wearing shoes that are just a half size too small. You can walk in them, sure, but you're always aware of the pinch. That's the disconnect between who you are and what you're projecting. And honestly, it's worth asking if the pressure you're feeling is even worth it. Because there's a trap we all fall into. Buying things we don't actually want, with money we don't have, just to impress people we don't even like. When you use your wardrobe as a performance to gain approval from others, you aren't building a style. You're building a debt of authenticity that you can never truly pay off. This isn't to say you should never evolve your style. Of course not. Change is a part of growth. But it's worth asking yourself, am I dressing this way because I'm exploring a new part of myself, or because I'm trying to hide parts that I'm not sure are acceptable yet? Sometimes the most powerful style choice isn't the trendiest one. It's the one that feels most like you. There's also this counterintuitive idea called the red sneaker effect. Research suggests that in certain situations, wearing something slightly non-conforming, like bright, casual shoes in a formal meeting, can actually increase your perceived status. It's almost like you're telling the room, I am so confident in my abilities that I don't feel the need to follow the invisible dress code. It signals autonomy. It signals that you are the one defining your own value, not the situation. Isn't that a breath of fresh air? It's a reminder that perfection is rarely the goal. Authenticity, even when it's a little bit messy, is far more compelling. So how do we move forward with this? How do we stop seeing our closet as a source of frustration and start seeing it as a partner in our mental health? Maybe the framework for your day shouldn't be, what should I wear? Instead, try asking yourself, what do I need today? Do you need comfort? Do you need a boost of confidence? Do you need to feel more grounded? Or do you need to feel more creative? Your clothes are simply a way to meet those needs. If you're feeling drained, wear the softest thing you own and call it self-care. If you're feeling invisible and you need to be heard, wear that one piece that makes you feel like you take up space. Your wardrobe should be the most supportive thing in your life. It's a quiet, constant conversation you have with yourself every morning. And remember, you are allowed to change your mind. The person you were last year might have loved one style, and the person you are becoming might need something entirely different. That's not a failure of style. That's just the evolution of your identity. It's easy to judge our past choices or feel embarrassed about how we presented ourselves during difficult times. But those clothes were just doing their job. They were holding space for you. They were keeping you safe when you didn't know how to protect yourself. So, next time you look in the mirror, try to offer yourself a little bit of grace. You're doing the best you can with the tools you have, and even your simplest outfit is a story about where you've been and where you're going. If this resonated with you, if you've ever felt like your clothes were more than just fabric, but a way to express a part of you that's hard to put into words, I'd love to hear about it. What's that one piece of clothing in your closet that makes you feel most like yourself, and why? Let's talk about it in the comments. And if you're someone who finds yourself overthinking your appearance, or if you feel like you're still trying to find your own identity in the clothes you wear, know that you're not alone. We're all just figuring it out as we go. If you enjoyed this look into why we do what we do, make sure to subscribe. There is so much more to uncover about the way our minds work, and I'd love to have you along for the journey. Take a moment today to be kind to the person you see in the mirror. You're doing better than you think. And who knows, maybe changing one small thing about your outfit tomorrow will change the way you see your entire day.